Well, fellow block placers and brown brick enjoyers, do you like the change of scenery? Look, I always wanted to talk about Minecraft on this channel, but I never really had the chance to until now, and since everyone's talking about peak cinema over here and the middle-aged fat man action figures in your local Walmarts and Targets, Steve, this is the perfect opportunity for me to babble and branch off my content. Also, this might be the start of a new short-form ramble series that doesn't involve me beating on other YouTubers or talking about Fallout for clout.
We escape into Fallout content bubble with this one!
So to begin the month, I saw a Minecraft movie, both versions of it, unfinished and finished, and to be honest, at the beginning of this whole thing being announced, I thought, well, to be true, I was a big hater of it. I thought it was going to be an absolute train wreck. What up? This thing had everything set up for failure. The crappy one-liners in the reveal trailer, the grotesque Steve-looking ass, "This will be Minecraft in 2010" art style, and Jack Black as Steve Minecraft himself.
Slow down, I'm gonna spurt.
Prostate!
This looked like another Borderlands waiting to happen. I bet if this bombed, that the next Minecraft Live, they get Notch on stage and announce that he's back on Mojang staff and that Minecraft 2 is officially in development. And then fire Lena Rain of Roman the Boiling Lava because his music sucks!
This is garbage.
Yet for some magical reason,
mostly for the power of irony,
this movie was a success. This low-effort slap got more money on opening week compared to Sonic 3. So far, the only video game movie franchise that's been trying to put effort into their films. Now that is embarrassing, and right after Disney's Zog Slop Mufasa beat in the box office race last year.
This is awful!
But why is everyone liking the Minecraft movie in comparison to, well, every other movie being released right now? Like Whiteface and the 7 CGI abominations. Well, here's the secret. Drumroll please. It's funny in the most dumbest yet honest way possible.
No! You cannot say
It feels like a so bad it's good film, like a Spy Kids movie. Well, before they made any of the sequels after 3. We don't talk about those. This doesn't exclude it from criticism though, cause this might be the movie where Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and 3 other randos have an adventure in the world of 𝕄𝕀𝔻CRAFT cave game. With Jack and Jason carrying this film, with Jason playing the try-hard badass cool guy, and Jack doing his jacking it off when talking about in-game items like Flint and Steel! Cause all the other characters are just one note and kind of there. The only funny you're gonna get is from 2 characters. The main problem I got with this movie is that it's way too simple to its benefit and detriment. Well, on one hand, I do think it's a good idea that the movie has the simple plot of stop the bad guy from getting the glowing MacGuffin. And nothing much else other than an underlying message about the game's endless possibilities and creativity. But on the other hand, the movie barely focuses on the creativity part and more on the cheap, ironic comedy bits. Like, there's only a few times where the cast really makes anything, and that's the scene with the crafting table and the intro scene with Jack Black placing blocks and shit in Minecraft. With the most notable example in all this being the pink house! Like, those are things you could do in-game, but they don't really expand it at all. It's really just simple homages to the game and its features. It's also kind of vague too, because you wouldn't know that the kid character named Henry being an inventor and making a little tater tot launcher, that totally doesn't look like a blunderbuss by the way. Yeah, he's supposed to represent the game's modding community.
Such a big part of Minecraft has been the creator community and modding. So we thought that Henry could represent the modder, the person who takes the vanilla game and tweaks it.
Well, I guess you would come to that conclusion if you knew that Minecraft's devs said no guns allowed for the base game updates or looked into interviews for the movie. This does confirm that thought was put into this film and how it represents the game is based on, but it still feels so light with how they're going about it. Again, it feels like this movie is more focused on trying to be funny and making small references to the game's features and culture, rather than expanding on the game's endless possibilities. Also, let's talk about the main villain of this film, 𝕄𝕀𝔻𝔸𝕂, the Piglin Sorceress. 2 words. Wasted potential. They could have done a lot more with her, rather than just making her a one-note generic villain that could be boiled down to
Oh, I am the big old piglet lady that wants to brag out the sun to mine more gold because I just do, and if you don't listen to me, I'll stab you.
Is that fucking face, dude?
Like, they have this whole backstory scene with her and how she got embarrassed at a talent show. Yes, this movie has a Piglin talent show for some reason. It really is a silly movie.
Technoblade!
Anyways, after that event, she saw it easier to destroy rather than express herself, and at the end of the film, she doesn't really learn her lesson and just dies. Personally, how I would go about it is having 𝕄𝕀𝔻𝔸𝕂 realize that she could still express herself and nothing's stopping her thanks to Jack Black giving her some motivation. Like, here's an example.
Hey 𝕄𝕀𝔻𝔸𝕂, maybe instead of destroying, you can create, because the only thing that's stopping you is yourself.
And then in the ending cutscene where everyone's like jamming out at Jason Momoa's cool retro game store, we cut back to the Nether and see that 𝕄𝕀𝔻𝔸𝔸's having a dance class with some piglins, and then she cracks her hip for comedic effect. Hey, call me autistic, but I think that little addition will make the movie a little bit more funnier and get its message across better. You know, again, creativity. Even another film I see people compare this to, the Lego movie, the villain has a change of heart and embraces the whole creativity thing about Lego at the end, so why not this film? But I guess that knife fumble scene at the end of the movie was still admittedly pretty funny. And that's really about it, because most of the film's plot is just that simple. Inoffensively simple, but it also feels a little bit rushed too, and I don't mean quality-wise, more like time-wise. I'm surprised this movie's an hour and 41 minutes long, because it feels just like 40 minutes long. Maybe because of how simple that plot is, it's just a point A to point B story. Maybe that's because some of the scenes were cut from the finished film. I did mention earlier I saw the unfinished digital version. Be it through, scurvy beans, me hearties. And I find it weird all the differences it had compared to the finished product. Like, there's a scene where a zombie gets his arm ripped off by Jack Black and it's bleeding, and a scene where a giant piglin monster is getting its brain punched out by a golem. And I mean that in a literal sense, because it shows its brain getting punched right out of its head.
Good grief, he's grief!
I mean, that makes sense to remove the gore, because Minecraft is the E for everyone rated game, but removing the use of the song DJ Got Us Falling in Love Again by Usher in the end credits?
And just to show you that I'm not faking this with editing magic, like, here it is in my browser with the link to this, like, thing and whatever, and let me just play it for you.
Ever since we met last night, I wanted to say, would you marry me?
Yes! Yes! 1,000 times yes!
Look, it's not Revenge, it's the original song it's based on, but come on, we almost had peak right there! Oh, and there's that one other Jack Black song. But to repeat myself, I don't really think this film is bad, nor really is it good either. It's just a stupid, funny film where you're more or less laughing at how ridiculously cheesy it all is. It's not meant to be deep, and the film knows it and rocks it hard. I don't think it's worth getting mad over a character being called General Chungus and acting like cinema is dead when it's kind of obvious the character's an ironic joke. I mean, if you really want to be real about cinema being dead, I think it's rotting, rolling, and festering in its grave like 𝕄𝕀𝔻𝔸𝕂's corpse. Like, come on, Disney killed it years ago with CGI slop remakes and the butchering of beloved franchises. Well, that's all I gotta say for this video. Maybe if there's interest, I'll make another video about my thoughts about Minecraft, the game itself, and its updates, but I'm not too sure about that. It all depends on my subcount's interest in me rambling about more video games and other sorts of media too. By the way, buy for adventure or else I'll grieve your house in Minecraft. Anyways, if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. If you hate this video, leave a dislike and leave me a mean comment. I've been SF1232 and...
Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey!
Chicken jockey! Yeah! That's pink cinema, baby!
Please, for the love of God and everyone going to this film, do not throw popcorn and junk in the theaters. I was really lucky when I saw this in the silver screen that nobody did that gay TikTok influencer nonsense and just cheered at the meme quotes. don't be a fucking dick ass. Anyway, good night.
Next time on Silver Spit 1232.
Bring me that gas!
That was delicious!